This is our weekly business meeting. It is May 2nd, 2023. The time is 2 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Matari, Brooks, and Duncan. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? And those of us on the phone, if you could mute yourself until your item is up. Thank you. All right, thank you. JP, would you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there changes to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to remove items 23 and 24.
All right, and I believe we handled item 22 earlier today, so 22 through 24 we do not need to address today. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I would take a motion to approve our meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes, items 1 through 6.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes, and consent calendar.
I move that we approve the items 7 through 10.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes, and payables, please.
I move that we approve the payables for April 24th through the 28th, 2023 in the amount of $532,600.79 and jury panel payments of $4,873.41.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, and motion passes. Our first item is number 12, and this is First Amendment to Standard Agreement for Professional Services, Jacobs Engineering, and our Solid Waste Director Phillips.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Phillips for the record. The Solid Waste Department recognizes the need for making improvements to the Ramsey Transfer Station and wishes to have Jacobs Engineering proceed with final design of a public drop-off area. Solid Waste Department requests the BOCC approve and sign the amendment to the existing professional services agreement with Jacobs for $22,500. This is for final design of the planned public drop-off area at the Ramsey Transfer Station. Just a side note, the department does have funds left over from the conceptual portion of this project that will cover this design work. Legal did review the agreement and prepared the amendment for your consideration.
All right, questions or motion?
I move that we approve the First Amendment to the Standard Agreement for Professional Services with Jacobs Engineering and Solid Waste.
Up to $22,500. I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. And item 13, time and attendance, ExecuTime, which is Tyler Technologies, and our Information Technology Department. Hi, Jack, please.
Hello, I'm Jack Duffield for the record. This is just the final piece for the ExecuTime time and attendance software. We posted our notice in the press, and now we just need to sign the quote so that we can start the project.
Okay, and the notice being the sole source.
Correct, yes.
Yes.
Procurement.
Okay. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve the time and attendance, ExecuTime, and Tyler Technologies IT contract.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Item 14, this is a grant application for the FY24 PDC grant, and it is for our public defender and the Public Defense Commission in the amount of $3,552,333.94, and our auditor's department, Brandy Falcon, Finance Director.
Brandy Falcon for the record. This is the Public Defender's grant application for PDC financial assistance for FY24. It just requires board signatures. Anne has already reviewed it, as has Jen. I've reviewed and signed, and the clerk has reviewed and signed.
Okay, so will this cover what our projected expenses are?
This only covers grant-funded personnel. The rest is made up by the distribution, 3.9 million from the State Tax Commission, and then this year we will have to use a portion of fund balance.
Okay, so even with the distribution and this grant, we're still going to be short?
Yeah, the PDC has never fully funded public defense, ever.
Okay. And then next year will be different?
So my understanding is that in FY25 is when the state is taking over public defense. I still have not received clarity on, does that mean we're still paying the bills and the state is reimbursing us for 3 years, or do they take everything over as of 10/1? We still haven't been told that by the legislature.
Okay, and then just the other piece would be, I know they have up to 5 years to pay for the housing.
Okay, so yeah, that's part of some of the finer details that I'm not sure on.
Yeah, well, there's probably a lot of people not sure at this point. So, motion or questions?
I move that we approve the grant application FY24 PDC grant application for the Public Defense Commission 355-2333.94. No match required.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you. Item 15 is a public hearing. This is for the FY24 Kootenai County Public Transportation Program projects and our Resource Management Office. Chad, are you handling this?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Chatting with RMO for the record. This is the public hearing for our fiscal year 24 program of projects as published in the Coeur d'Alene Press on March 31st, 2023. Our office has not received any comments as of today.
All right, and so now I will open it up for public comments since this is a hearing. Is there anybody here to speak for or against the program of projects for FY24? Anybody on the phone? And nobody online? Then I would take a motion to end public testimony and enter into deliberations.
I move that we end public testimony and move into deliberations for the fiscal year 24 Kootenai County Public Transportation Program of Projects.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, deliberation. Any questions or concerns on the program of projects, seeing that we have had no public input?
I'd be curious what your thoughts are a little bit.
This is standard that we've kind of done every year, and I didn't see anything that stood out that would be out of the ordinary. We do have staff on the phone to answer any questions, so it's just a matter of facilitating the project since technically there's no stops in the rural area. It's all city-driven
Yeah.
at this point. So, nothing. Okay.
I don't have any other comment.
And then, Chad, we do this every single year, correct?
Yes, this is an annual requirement for our FTA 5307 funding.
Okay.
I move that we approve the FY24 Kootenai County Public Transportation Program of Projects with the Resource Management Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 16, Kootenai County. This is the CLFRF subaward agreement on-site for seniors, Inc., and our Resource Management Office. And I think I heard Caitlin on the phone?
Yes. Caitlin Smith for the record with RMO. This is the agreement between Kootenai County and On-Site for Seniors for the subaward of $125,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds. These funds are to be provided as a reimbursement for payroll incurred as operational costs for On-Site for Seniors Adult Day Center during the COVID-19 public health emergency.
All right, questions or motion?
I move that we award the ARPA funds of $125,000 for the Kootenai County CLFRF subaward agreement for the on-site for seniors.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you. And item 17, bid award. This is taxiway NHGL aircraft parking apron, pavement maintenance, and Corey and Kim are here to lead us through this.
Hi, Corey Sigbird with Ardura, for the record.
Kim Stevenson, Airport, for the record.
This bid award is for taxiway N seal coat and remarking. We had 4 bidders on the project, and the low bidder was for $290,656. And this is an FAA project. The agreement would be contingent on a grant award in the future. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions on this
No.
project. Okay. So then it's just the bid award with the understanding that when the funds come in, then we can actually approve the project officially.
The agreement with the contractor. This just awards the project to him when we get a grant.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the record, the costs were so much lower that we are actually saving $10,000 in grant match because of the lower cost of the project.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Motion?
I move that we accept bid award TWYN/H/G/L/aircraft parking apron pavement maintenance for the airport.
With
For $290,656 to Road Products LLC when we get the funds. I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
aye. All right. Motion passes. And items 18 and 19 can be handled together. And this is resolution numbers 202346 and 47, which is the classification and destruction of records. And Ms. Dennison, you're on the line.
Yes, Michelle Dennison for the record. Yes, I have 2 resolutions on the agenda. Resolution 2023-46 for classification of the temporary, semi-permanent, and permanent records in Exhibit A, and Resolution 2023-47 to destroy records in Exhibit A.
Okay. Questions, motion?
No questions. I move that we accept Resolution 2023-46 to classify the sheriff's records and Resolution 2023-47 to destroy the sheriff's records.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right. Motion passes. Item 20, and this is resolution 2023-50, and it's a request to dispose scrap metal and retain proceeds. And we've actually approved this, but this is the resolution that goes along with that item. And I don't know if there's anything else for you to add. So,
Phil Cummings from the airport, just for the record. We've never had to do this before, but I just wanted to make sure that we had everything that we needed. This money is going to be used in that account for tools and an air compressor for the shop.
yep. Okay. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2023-50, request to dispose of scrap metal and retain proceeds for the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right. Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Item 21, new building jail transportation. And there's some more design work that has to be done, so it had to come before the board to give direction to work with the architect and the construction group to facilitate some of these changes so we actually have a working ability to get our inmates in for court. So I will turn it over to Sheriff Norris and Captain Miller.
So I will, if you allow me.
Yes, absolutely, since you're retiring soon.
Yeah, that's right. Captain Miller, Stu Miller for the record. Just a little bit of background on this. We were brought into, or at least I was brought into the discussion about the building and the court hold after the design was already made. And I had a phone conversation with RMO and the architects with LCA probably 2 months ago. At the time, when they designed the building, they designed it for 2 of our current model Econoline transport vans. I then informed them that we were trying in our future budget to purchase a vehicle, a transport truck that holds more inmates, and I gave them the design specifications for it. And I also noted during that conversation that just the simple fact of the design that they had now of the ingress egress being one alleyway off of Garden Avenue, that it was almost impossible for me or for one of my staff members to actually get into that area, and then if something forbid goes wrong, to get out of that area, because we'd have to go backwards onto Garden Avenue, which is not conducive to where that is going to be. One of my early suggestions is to get a hold of whoever owns the gas station and move that someplace, and that I was told that that wasn't an option. The second option was for a drive-through, some sort of a drive-through ability, and we talked about some design aspects of it. So a couple of things that we ran into. One, the transport vehicle that we're trying to purchase hauls more prisoners or inmates than our current vans do. And so my efforts are trying to realize that our inmate population being what it is, we have to transport many more inmates to court hold on a daily basis to try to minimize the drive between the 2 facilities, cut down on the number of staff that I need to man the vans to bring the inmates down, and then be a little more economical in that. So that's the transport van in itself. The other things that I looked at when I was discussing it with them was the turn radius of a van, because they wanted us to come in off of Garden Avenue down a very narrow alleyway and then sideways into a garage, and then try to back up in the same garage to get out, which is not going to be, I just don't see it happening. And I asked, there was 2 boxes inside the garage, and I said, are these pillars that hold the building up? And they said, yes. I said, well, we have vans with no real sight to the rear of it, and I'm pretty certain that those pillars are going to get hit a lot. So I know that we are scheduled to have another discussion on
Thursday morning?
With the LCA, I believe, and the RMO. And a couple of things that we talked about was the safety and security aspect alone. So just getting a van down a narrow alleyway with really that's a choke point for any vehicle to get down. But if we are transporting a high-risk inmate or needing to evacuate in a hurry, it's not going to go well. So that was some of the challenges that we were talking about. We talked about on the opposite side of the building, this would be on the east side.
So I don't want to get into OPSEC stuff that, we want to, don't tell people what's.
But we were just basically
looking at.
talking about how to get in and out of the building, and making a possibility of drive-throughs and or an outside facility or some other aspect of that.
Right. Okay, so at this point, I would suggest that we ask our command staff to work with the architect, and knowing that is going to increase the architect's fee to redesign this, but we can't have a building that doesn't allow us to do what we need to do. So architect will then reach back out to us with proposed change, and we can deal with the money at that point. Okay? You have direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was item 21, and now we have item 25, which is our status update pending list. So that was the latest on our facilities expansion. Don't need to say anything there. And then our impact fees. Bill?
I've got a call in to Ann Westcott regarding the coroner's office and have not heard back from her yet.
Okay, so
Expect to.
Okay, so we received an email and Ann had said that she does not suggest we take that coroner's project and put it into impact fees. So what I would ask next then is for the coroner to either put it in his budget and we can deal with it in that manner. But she just didn't feel like it was appropriate for, to go after impact fees with it, so. Were you able to read that email?
Yeah, it was like $40-some or something that,
Yeah.
it was nominal.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I guess that's where we can go with that. And then I have no update on the prosecutor's immediate space need. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and take public comment because we have an executive session to do after this. So, is there anybody here for public comment? Okay. You can either come to the podium or just come to the table right in front, either way. And if you have thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is William Muck. I am the Executive Director at Onsite for Seniors. I'd like to speak to you on behalf of Onsite for Seniors, but more importantly, I'd like to speak to you as a taxpayer. First of all, I would like to thank you for your action on awarding Onsite for Seniors the grant from the ARPA funds today. This grant is going to help us in many ways to continue our operations and our services to our community's seniors who are struggling with Alzheimer's and dementia. But this grant also preserves our services to caregivers. An even more important factor in the caregiving process is the person providing the care. At this meeting today, this action that you have taken is one of the final hurdles in this grant application process. And I want to take this time to publicly thank two of your staff members for their exceptional devotion to duty and protecting our tax dollars, my tax money. It's been almost a year and a half since this grant was approved. Since that time, we've had the opportunity to work very closely with Grant Manager Dorian Combrick and Grant Technician Caitlin Smith. Let me tell you, these two ladies have exercised extreme diligence and thoroughness in their work, and yet they have been a cheerful example of what it means to be a public employee and a public servant. This ARPA grant was uncharted waters for many of us, and many new requirements and regulations were encountered along the way, things we've never explored before. As the director of a nonprofit agency, I appreciate Ms. Combrick and Mrs. Smith's openness, their friendly attitudes, and their eagerness to answer my myriad of questions, and believe me, there were many. But as a taxpayer, I am thankful that they are working hard to protect my money and my investment in this county. They are ensuring a fair and equitable process in our grant application process. This grant is going to help us continue our services to our seniors, and a great deal of thanks for this award goes out to Ms. Combrick and Ms. Smith. Thank you both for your time, ladies, and thank you, council, for your service to our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other public comments? Nobody online? Anybody on the phone? All right, then I would take a motion to enter into executive session, and this will be 1F.
I move that we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-206, 1F.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
a motion to exit executive session.
I move that we exit executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 1F for staff to proceed as discussed.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, and seeing that we already handled public comment, the business meeting is adjourned. It is 2:45. Jonathan and Tina, let me know.